April 20 și 3. Apocalyptic Supercell. 2 tornadoes at once, and a town called Enid standing in the crosshairs of an EF4. The sky had that look. Not green, not yet, but heavy, bruised, the kind of purple-grey that makes your skin prickle and your instincts scream go north or go south, but don't just stand there. I stood on the shoulder of a 2-lane highway, wind whipping my hair across my face, and watched the mesocyclone breathe. Inhale dust, exhale rotation. Inhale warm, moist air from the Gulf. Exhale a threat that could level a town in 30 seconds flat. Behind me, a prairie king snake slithered across the asphalt, beautiful golden brown, completely unbothered by the chaos brewing above. "No way," I whispered, kneeling down. "You are beautiful. I would love to hang out with you, but I've got to chase this storm." The snake flicked its tongue, as if to say good luck, and disappeared into the grass. I smiled despite myself. Snakes were out today. Water snakes too. I just seen one scurry across the road a mile back. They knew something was coming. Animals always did. But I wasn't an animal. I was a storm chaser. And I chose to run toward the thing everyone else was running from. The forecast had been screaming about this day for a week. April 23rd. Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Iowa. A setup so volatile that even the most seasoned meteorologists were biting their nails. Cyclic supercells, the kind that drop a tornado, then cycle, then drop another one right on top of the last one's path. 2 of them, I muttered, staring at the radar on my phone. There's 2 of them. To the north, the obvious target. Storms firing up like clockwork. Predictable. Safe-ish. To the south, a highly conditional risk. If a storm went up there, it could be amazing, but it was a gamble. A long shot. I felt myself being pulled north, just because I wanted a storm. Just because the north felt like the smart play. "I think I feel like I'm being pulled towards the north," I said to my chase partner, who was already checking the road options. "Let's see if I made the right choice." We drove. The sky followed. By 8:31 p.m. the sun had surrendered to the storm. The clouds were doing that thing they do, churning, boiling, stacking so high they looked like mountains in the sky. An inflow tail of dust streamed into the base like a river feeding an ocean. A wall cloud was forming, low, mean, hungry. "There's one road that crosses the river and the interstate," I said, eyes glued to the horizon. "We don't want to get cut off from that by hail." We bailed a little early, maybe too early, but in this game, caution wasn't cowardice, it was survival. And then it happened. "Oh man, that's about to do it," I breathed. "Should get a tornado warning any second now." The wall cloud was rotating hard now. A cone was developing in the background, but wait. "Yeah," I said, voice dropping. "I'm worried about a second tornado above us. We've got to be really careful." Cyclic supercell. That's what was bothering me. It might form on top of us. I looked at my partner. "We're going to have to run away. Like now." We repositioned. Just in time. "There it is," I whispered. "There's a funnel cloud happening closer to us." The air went still. That awful pregnant silence before the scream. And then 2 of them. 1 cone in the background, 1 funnel practically overhead. The supercell was cycling, spitting out tornadoes like a machine gun. We were caught in the middle of something I'd only ever read about in textbooks. "How's the hail sitch?" I asked, already calculating escape routes. "Southern routes are clear," my partner said. "You know what? I'm going to run away now. And when it forms, we'll turn around." We drove south. The storm followed. It always did. I stopped the truck on a gravel road, killed the engine, and just watched. It was beautiful. Terrifying. Impossible. "Look how it's just a bunch of vortices," I said, pointing at the base of the cloud. "This is what we're trying to get with Dr. Anton." Like, is that a tornado? Ground circulations everywhere. Little swirls of dust and debris dancing under the mesocyclone like ballerinas before the main performance. Until they merge into one, I don't know if we can call that a tornado. But then they started merging, one by one. The vortices spun into each other, feeding off the same violent energy, growing larger and larger until... Oh, there's the funnel. There it is. Power lines blocked my view. Of course. But I could see it, the Big Daddy, the one that would make headlines. There's vorticity everywhere underneath this thing, I said. Watch how all these vortices merge perhaps into one. And when they all merge, that seems to be when the Big Daddy forms. We watched, we waited, and we ran again because the supercell was cycling and it might form on top of us at any moment. All right, we're about to get engulfed overhead. Here we go. We drove toward Brahman.